Hi and welcome back to the Cottage. Today I am going to be talking about 11 clean home habits that I've established that have completely changed my life, and I know they can benefit you as well. It is simply a fact of life that if you live in your space, whether that is a home, an apartment, a dorm room, eventually it's going to become dirty and need some extra cleaning attention, whether that comes from you or you hiring somebody to get the job done. It's going to need to be cleaned. And I have people asking me quite often how I am able to keep our home looking relatively clean most of the time with our large family who's very busy. And today I wanted to share those secrets with all of you. Really, there's nothing I'm going to talk about in today's video that's overly groundbreaking. It's not really new information, and none of the habits that I have established over the years are overly difficult. It comes down to deciding and finding what works for you and then actually doing it. Forming new habits, though, can take quite a bit of time and effort, and so if you do see something on my list that you like and you want to incorporate in your own cleaning routine, be sure to give yourself some grace in the process and know that it might not happen overnight. All right, let's get to my list of 11 clean home habits that have completely changed my life. The first is one that you've probably come to expect from me by now, and that is to own fewer things. Really, minimalism and the paring down to what we actually use and love is the building block upon which I've been able to establish all of these other cleaning habits. Because when you have fewer things that you need to manage, it makes it so much easier to keep things clean. Nobody wants to be dusting around a shelf full of knickknacks or moving shoes out of the way so that they can get to cleaning their floors. This one is very, very important. Just having fewer things does make your house seem a lot more open and clean and tidy, and so that is a great place to start. Habit number 2 is to determine a non-negotiable cleaning chore. Find something that you enjoy doing and stick to doing it every single day. This is going to vary from person to person. Maybe you are someone who enjoys vacuuming. Maybe you are someone who enjoys wiping down the counters. Find that one chore that you really like to have done. You really like to see that one aspect of your home clean, and make it really a big habit, a big non-negotiable. For me, I'm not ashamed to admit that I really love making beds. It's kind of weird, kind of quirky, but I enjoy making beds so much that I don't allow anybody else in my family to make their beds. I go around every single morning making every bed in the house. It gives me a sense of accomplishment. It makes those rooms feel so much more tidy, and it's something I enjoy. I use that time while I'm making my kids' beds, for example, to pray for them and really think about them, and it's really an intentional moment for me. So find that one chore that you actually enjoy doing and then stick to doing it every single day. Forming one good habit is going to lead to being able to form others. Habit number 3 is to make it enjoyable. Now, there are going to be things that you have in your home that you don't like to do. Mine, for example, is to clean the bathrooms, specifically scrubbing the toilets. It's not my favorite thing in the world. And so what I have done is I like to listen to with my wireless headset, I like to listen to different mystery podcasts. And pairing these two things together, the chore that I don't necessarily love to do with something I look forward to doing, actually does help to take my mind off of the situation at hand, and it helps the time go a lot faster. So find something that you can pair your least favorite chore with that's actually enjoyable. Maybe that is watching a television show while you're folding the laundry, talking on the phone with a friend or loved one while you're cleaning your floors. Find that one thing that you can do to make this chore that you don't like doing a little bit more enjoyable. Habit number 4 is to make decluttering intentional. This is something that should be done on a regular basis and really from day to day. So as you come across an item, be willing to throw it or put it in a donation bin or bag right at that moment so that you're not thinking about it anymore. If you get junk mail in, throw it right in the trash instead of piling it up on your counter. If you see that your child has outgrown an item of clothing, go ahead and put it in the donation bin right away rather than putting it back in their drawer and having to rediscover this a few weeks later. Always be thinking about your items and if they really serve a purpose in your home, if it's something you want to keep around. And this is really going to go back to habit number 1 and help you to maintain that clutter-free environment and give you a lot more peace. Habit number 5 is to clear off those horizontal surfaces and try your best to keep them clear. Now, I understand I've talked about this before many times, but it is very important. Those horizontal surfaces, the tables, the countertops, the tops of dressers, they are clutter magnets. As soon as you set something down on it, it invites other items to join it and it just becomes a big problem. And so I encourage you to have a rule, a habit in your house to clear off those surfaces at least every day, every week. Make a routine of it basically, because those horizontal surfaces are made to be working surfaces, and if they're constantly piled up with clutter, they're not going to be useful to you. Habit number 6 is to not let cleaning tasks pile up. A majority of the little things that we need to do to keep our spaces clean are not difficult. They don't take a lot of time. Many of them take 5 minutes or less. But what we tend to do, our brains tend to think, well, I'll just wait until I have more things to clean and then I'll just do everything at once. And that can become a problem because a lot of us might have 5 minutes to spare here and there, but many of us don't have an hour to spare to just do cleaning. And so taking care of those tasks as they come up, as you go along your day, is so much better than letting them pile up to the point where they are like facing a mountain that you have to clean. You've heard the saying, if you see something, say something, and in this case, the phrase can be, if you see something, do something. So if you're walking by your living room and you see a cup that's sitting on the end table that needs to go to the kitchen, just go ahead and grab it and bring it to the kitchen rather than leave it there for later. It's going to save you a lot of time in the long run. Habit number 7 is a favorite of mine, and that is to rearrange furniture on occasion. This is something that I enjoyed doing even as a little girl, rearranging my bedroom furniture. When we were designing this house, I made sure that there were multiple configurations for the furniture because I just love the newness of the space when things are rearranged. It really gets me motivated to do a more thorough, deep cleaning, and there's that added benefit of being able to go under the couches, the large furniture pieces, and clean down there. Those areas are forgotten a lot of times. Bring those dust bunnies to light, and it will also encourage you to clean in your couch cushions, another area that gets forgotten, your chairs. And this is just, again, it just really helps to see your space with a new light and makes you want to really refresh it fully. And so if you're able to rearrange your furniture, this is going to help you keep that space clean, and it's also going to give you some joy. Habit number 8, hitch the new habits that you want to establish with old ones that you already have. Now, like I said at the beginning of this video, it can take some time to establish new habits because you need to do them over and over and over again before they become routine and something you don't think about very often. And so when you're in the process of trying to establish these new habits, find something that you do without even thinking about it, and then batch a chore along with it. So for example, if you brush your teeth every night before bed, then maybe you can bring a rag in there with you at that same time, and when you're finished brushing your teeth, you can clean up your sink area, maybe wipe down your mirror. Or if every evening when you lock your doors, maybe you just shake out the rugs that are in front of those doors before you lock them. This is an easy way to establish these new habits without really having to set aside a new time for them. Really, you just have to remember when you do your old habit to take along the new one at the same time. Habit number 9, establish a place for everything. Every single item in your home should have a place where it belongs, where it should reside when it's not in use. And if it does not have a home, perhaps it doesn't belong in your home at all. Maybe it should be decluttered. But nothing is more frustrating to the flow of a person's day than not being able to find something that they need. Maybe they're leaving the house and they can't find their keys, can't find a shoe that's missing. It really just throws off the entire schedule, and it's very infuriating. This used to happen to me a lot with our kids on school days, and once we established the habit of making sure that everything went back into its home when it wasn't in use, there was no question marks of where we could find these items. We always knew where they were, and it made everything run so much more smoothly. So I definitely encourage you to find a place for every single item in your home, especially the ones that you use on a regular routine basis. Those shoes, those keys, those jackets, the purses, find a place where they belong and you know that you can go to get them when you are leaving the house or you need them. And this is really going to help you maintain your sanity, and it will also help you maintain a cleaner home. Habit number 10 is to do a nightly reset. You will thank yourself in the morning if you take a few minutes the night before to get things back in order and looking tidy rather than letting it go and waking up to a space that feels like a tornado ran through it, just mass chaos everywhere, and your mind starts spinning about what you need to get done and you haven't even fully woken up for the day. And I understand that in the evening hours, a lot of times we are just exhausted, and the thought of even spending a few minutes tidying up, cleaning up can feel impossible. But remember, if we establish the habit where we clean as we go throughout our day, this nightly reset should not take more than 10, maybe 15 minutes tops, and it's going to vary from person to person. So in our home, our nightly reset involves making sure that the couch cushions are just kind of tidied up, the blankets and everything are folded and in a nice way, and we make sure that our dishes are done. We don't have a dishwasher, and so we hand wash our dishes and they dry on the dish rack overnight. And it's just a few things that we need to get done every single night, and when we wake up, it is so much more peaceful and enjoyable to ease into the day rather than to wake up and feel like there's already a headache to tackle. And so if you're able to push through that tiredness of the evening hours, you're going to thank yourself in the morning. And the last habit on my list, habit number 11, is to take time to actually enjoy your space. I've been guilty of this myself. We spend so many hours busy in our homes cooking and helping the kids and cleaning things that we don't always take time to slow down and actually live in our spaces. After all, the reason why we're doing all this cleaning in the first place is so that we can enjoy our homes rather than being grossed out by it. And so why don't we take the time to actually do that? If you've taken the time to deep clean your living room, rearrange your furniture, indulge yourself, sit down on that couch and read a good book and just soak in the space. When you wake up in the morning to a kitchen that was reset the night before and it's all clean and ready for the day, it might sound kind of silly, but just stand in the space and look at it. Look at it being clean. Maybe drink your morning coffee while you're admiring this clean kitchen. You know it's not going to stay that way for very long as soon as the family wakes up. Like I said, these houses, they're going to get dirty if we live in them. And so taking the time to actually step back and enjoy these clean spaces is actually going to motivate us to do more cleaning because we want to be able to enjoy the fruits of our labor, right? So take that time to enjoy that clean space, enjoy your clean home, and that is actually going to give you fuel to keep it that way. Well, there you go. Those are the 11 clean home habits that I've established in my life that have really helped me to keep my home clean on a regular basis and enjoy my clean home even more. I hope that there was something on this list that resonated with you. Perhaps you want to give a try in your own life. If there was something that stood out, I would love to hear about it down below in the comment section. Go ahead and give me a comment. We can chat down there. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I hope that you'll stop by the cottage again really soon.